This is a fake UFO video. One that I made specifically for this video. Though if you happen to recognize it, that might be because I was copying this video. One of two videos that recently resurfaced and have been doing the rounds on social media. So why am I trying to make a fake version of a video that might already be fake? Well, it's because of something that this guy said. This is Ashton Forbes. He's a self-proclaimed citizen journalist who has become obsessed with investigating the disappearance of flight MH370, a Malaysian Airlines flight that went missing in 2014.
A Malaysia Airlines flight with 239 people on board, including 4 Americans, has gone missing.
But, as you may have guessed, he doesn't think that MH370 went missing under ordinary circumstances. He thinks that these videos are genuine, and that they capture the moment that some kind of advanced technology abducted the plane and the 237 people on board. For Ashton, these videos are 100% real. And he's wrong. But before I tell you why I think he's wrong, I wanted to see what I would do if I was going to hoax a video like this. I wanted to make one for myself. And also because Ashton directly challenged me. Okay, he didn't, but it kind of felt like it. You see, whilst being interviewed on another YouTuber's live stream, Ashton kept saying the videos would be extremely hard or impossible to fake.
So this is extremely difficult if they had faked this.
He said that he had even consulted with lead visual effects artists that had worked on Top Gun Maverick and Marvel movies.
Marvel VFX lead, who also claimed it would take at least 6 months.
But as a motion graphics designer and someone who has dabbled a bit with VFX in his career, I was sure that I could do something that was similar or pretty good in much less time. But first, let's do a quick refresher on what this whole thing is about. On the 8th of March 2014, Malaysia Airlines flight MH370 took off from Kuala Lumpur. 38 minutes later, whilst flying over the South China Sea, the plane's pilot, Captain Zahari, said goodnight to Lumpur radar.
Malaysian 370, contact Ho Chi Minh 120.9, good night. Good night, Malaysian 370.
The plane, its 227 passengers and 10 crew, would never be heard from again. This sparked the biggest and most expensive search in aviation history, initially focused in the South China Sea before shifting to the Indian Ocean, with the specific search areas being based on the available satellite data that was received in the hours leading up to MH370's disappearance. Despite a massive search spanning years covering 120,000 square kilometers of ocean floor, only small pieces of debris have been found on shores far away from the presumed crash site. But the main wreckage remains a mystery to this day, leading to all sorts of theories about what happened. Then, on the 19th of May, 72 days after the plane went missing, this video was uploaded to YouTube. It shows an aeroplane, apparently from the view of a satellite, which is then joined by 3 spherical craft. After around 55 seconds, there's an explosion of light and the aeroplane and the spheres disappear. Only a few weeks later, on the 12th of June, another video was uploaded, seemingly of the same incident, but from a different perspective and using a thermal camera, supposedly one that was mounted on a UAV, specifically a MQ-1C Grey Eagle military drone. Like in the first video, we see an aeroplane surrounded by 3 spherical craft, which then disappear in some kind of huge explosion. Whilst these videos do look and feel authentic, we have to remind ourselves that it's possible to fake virtually anything these days. And even in 2014, we had some pretty great VFX. So, to start with, I'm going to concentrate on just the first video. This is my ingredients list. Number 1. A plane, specifically a Boeing 777, the same as MH370. Number 2, some little white spheres. Number 3, a satellite photo of some clouds. Number 4, some kind of explosion. I started off looking for a 3D model of the Boeing 777. I figured that to get the plane to turn and bank in the way that it does in the original video, a 3D model was really the only way to go. Once I had the model into my 3D program, I animated it along a simple path, turning and banking in roughly the same way as it does in the video. Next, I made some aliens. Other advanced technologies are available. I animated these flying in and then circling the plane. And I'm only about 20 minutes in and I have the basics of my video done already. Now I'm heading over into Adobe After Effects, the tool I'm going to use to composite the plane and the clouds and to add all the effects to make it look like it was filmed on a potato. So I have a plane and I have some UFOs, and now I need some clouds. I went online, but I was struggling to find a good high-res image from the right angle, so then I figured that I could get a bunch of individual clouds and put them into a particle generator and make them that way. Bingo. Next is the explosion, and I knew this one would be easy because I had a bunch of stock footage that I had already used on other projects. The last finishing touch would be to add all the nasty compression like we see in the original video. This will help it all blend together and make it harder for debunkers to find fault. Voila, instant potato. All in all, I'm not unhappy with the result. It's not perfect and it's not exactly the same as the original, but that was never really the goal. The goal was to see how much I could do with very limited amount of time to see whether a hoax would even be possible. I only spent about an hour and a half on it, and that's a fair bit quicker than the Marvel VFX artist's estimation of 6 months. About 1,460 times quicker. I guess that makes me 1,460 times better than a lead Marvel VFX artist. Joking, of course. I have huge respect for VFX artists and their skills, and I come nowhere near. I think that where his estimate of 6 months came from was not so much to do with the technical visual aspects of the video, but more to do with the information that's hidden within them. You see, whilst it wouldn't be impossible to fake these videos, Ashton raises some really good points as to why it would be really, really hard. He lists them all out in this tweet. Some of these require in-depth knowledge of the exact scenario in which MH370 went missing, and would require technical knowledge of aviation and military systems that would seem to be out of reach of any hoaxer. For example, the weather conditions are correct for the time and location. The turn radius of the Boeing 777 is correct. The satellite frame rate is correct. The false IR on the satellite footage is correct. The camera position on the specific model of military drone was correct. Even the type of computer mouse that would have been used by an operator looking at the satellite footage was correct. When you take into account all of this information being correct, then a far more complex picture emerges. One that does start to make me wonder exactly how the hell someone could create this. I was actually starting to think that Ashton might be onto something. And just as I was about to start recreating the second video, the thermal camera video, I saw this.
You have damning evidence as well?
I have damning testimony. What? I found the stock footage.
You did?
You found it! Yeah, rather, we didn't. Some people on Reddit did. This is a stock footage clip from the 90s.
Oh, hell yeah.
There's the clip from the video, and here is the stock footage.
The Corridor crew debunked the whole thing with one trip to Reddit. But I couldn't just take their word for it. I had to check it for myself. I tracked down the Reddit post, found the link to the stock footage, and hit download. My heart was pounding. It felt like I was solving some kind of huge, world-changing mystery, even though I definitely wasn't. Boom! I got it into Adobe After Effects and started scaling, rotating, repositioning, all the time hearing Ashton's words in my head.
This is like saying that my butthole is your butthole because they're similar.
And there it was. Ashton was right. The clips didn't exactly line up. The shape in purple is the original footage, and the shape in green is the overlaid stock footage. They were close, but it still wasn't right. And then it struck me. Visual effects is not a strict process. Artists are always stretching and warping images to fit their purposes. What if the hoaxer had just distorted the stock footage during the creative process? So I stretched it just a little bit, and bingo, virtually a perfect fit. And with the random nature of explosions, I find it incredibly hard to fathom the odds of these two shapes lining up so closely. But what about all of Ashton's really quite compelling evidence? You know, the weather conditions, the satellite data, the Boeing 777 turning circle. Could a hoaxer have just got really lucky? To be honest, I find it all really quite baffling, and I'm not really sure what to believe. But it might not be too long until we find out if it really is a hoax. Ashton recently tweeted that he's raised $145,000 as a reward for the hoaxer if he or she comes forward and supplies their source work. Though with the reward would undoubtedly come some very unforgiving press coverage, the prospect of which may discourage them from ever coming forward. So what do you think? Do you think that there's anything to Ashton's claims? Do you think my video was any good? Let me know in the comments. I'm pretty sure you were going to anyway. Hey, thanks for watching. If you liked the video, then I'd really appreciate if you could hit that like button. It really helps me out with the algorithm. And if you hate algorithms, then the best place to actually watch my videos is on Nebula, where there's no algorithm and there's no ads. You can sign up using the link here or down in the description. And when you use my link, it also helps me. So that'd be really, really nice. If you don't want to do either of those things, then that's fine also. You could maybe just watch this video instead. That helps me. So it's all good. I'll just wait here until you click there, the like button,